What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Let's Excel Together. If you remember last week, we talked about case statements where we could define a set of conditions and apply those conditions to a range, and then we could be given ourselves another output based on those conditions. Today we're going to be talking about an if-then statement. So very similar to a case statement, obviously a very different structure, but it can perform something very similar to the case statement. So stick around, we're going to learn about if-then statements, and let's get to it. Great, so let's get started. So as I mentioned, we're going to be learning about the if-then statement. So let's go ahead and get our basic sub routine set up. So we're going to just say sub if-then practice, we'll call it. We'll hit enter, and it's going to end our sub for us. So let's take this situation for example. Let's say we have these prices here, right? And we want to determine if the price is high or if it's low based on a random value that we get it, or that we give our statement. So let's say, for example, if the value is greater than 20, we want this cell over here to write the word low. If it's greater than 20, we want this cell to write the word high. So let's go ahead and set this up. So to write an if statement, we need to start with the word if, obviously. So we're going to say if. And one other thing that we're going to learn today is how to use the ActiveCell. So in the previous videos, we talked about for loops and actually looping through each one of these cells to perform a task. Today, we're actually just going to apply the subroutine on whatever cell we have selected. Okay, so we have a little bit more control. Obviously, this isn't automated for any particular purpose. Obviously, this is just an example. So let's go ahead and learn about the if-then statements as well as the ActiveCell. Okay, so we're going to say if the ActiveCell dot value is greater than 20. Okay, so we're going to close our if statement, and this is not exactly like a formula in Excel, but it's very similar. So we're saying if the ActiveCell dot value is greater than 20, then we want to write the word high in column B. So we're going to say then ActiveCell dot offset. Okay, so we're actually learning three things here. We're going to do ActiveCell dot offset. And offset basically says move the cursor over or up or down or left or right, wherever. We want to offset it from the current active cell 1 to the right. Okay, so we're going to say offset, the row offset is 0, but we want to offset the column as 1. And then we're going to say dot value equals high. Great. So then the next thing is, obviously if it's not greater than 20, it's got to be less than 20, right? Or less than or equal to 20. So this other piece to an if-then statement comes in, which is called the else section of the if-then statement. So we're going to say else, which means it's not greater than 20. We want the ActiveCell.offset 0, 1 again, dot value equals low. Okay, we're going to enter, and then to end the if statement, we're going to just say simply end if. Okay, so let's talk through this one more time, because there was a lot there that I wasn't planning on showing you, but I think it's important. So we're going to say, again, if the value over here is greater than 20, we want to put the word high in this column B, wherever the active cell is. Okay, so whatever one we have selected is how it's going to evaluate that cell. So we're saying if the active cell, so if I select this one, it would be 19. If the active cell is greater than 20, I want you to put the word high in there. And we do that by saying the current active cell offset the row by 0, but the column by 1. We want to set the value to high. Else, which means it's not greater than 20, we want to take the active cell and, again, offset. So we want to go to column B, and we want to write the word low. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this. We're going to select 15. So if I've done this right, it'll put the word low in there. and bam, it sure did. So I was selected here. It evaluated to the else because it was not greater than 20. And then it took the ActiveCell.offset, which is here, and set it to low. So let's go ahead and do 21. We'll hit play again, and bam, high. We'll do 39. Bam, high. That's simple. So that's a simple if else then statement, or sorry, if then else statement to take the ActiveCell. So we learned three things today. We learned about the if then statement. We learned about the ActiveCell function in VBA, and then we learned the offset. Okay, so the if then being the conditional, the ActiveCell being the selected cell that you currently have, and then the offset being the direction or the value that you want to place the cell that you want to place the value in from the currently selected cell. So great. So that's three things: if then statements, ActiveCell, and offset for this session. Wonderful, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.